Hey guys, Zero here, and today I'm playing the Journeyman Project Turbo. This is something that I've been wanting to do for well over a year now. Now next to Myst, this is my second favorite puzzle adventure game series of all time. This is the first in the Journeyman Project trilogy, with the second being Buried in Time, and the third is Legacy of Time. Now despite being called Turbo, this is a fairly slow-paced game, and I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of the extra stuff you can do that's not necessary for completing it. I'll also be showing you most, if not all, of the death scenes as well. Now before I play the intro clip, there are a few things I need to get out of the way. During my test recordings of this game, I found that certain events would cause the audio and video to desync. I'll be correcting these so that the audio stays aligned, but that means that there will probably be some instances where there's no sound. Now they should only last about 1 to 2 seconds though, and some of them might not even be noticeable, so hopefully there won't be too many of them. The other issue is that for some reason the music and sound effects sometimes play when they're not supposed to, but this mostly affects just some of the videos, and I'll be working my way around them as best as I can. Finally, the opening clip may look like it's lagging, but that's actually how the frame rate is supposed to be, so it's the game and not my computer on that one. Alright, enough of all that, let's get started.
The year is 2318. The location, the skyborne metropolis known as Caldoria. The Earth is finally at peace after a long, bloody battle against a few tyrants who sought total world domination. Having learned the hard way the evils of imperialism, the borders began to come down one by one. Finally, in the year 2117, the unified world was realized. Now, all that we have accomplished is being threatened by the power of time travel. Realizing its potential for destruction, the very same Democrats who initiated the building of the time machine immediately discontinued the project once they saw a working prototype. Temporal travel now being a reality, they brought the time machine to a secret location and formed an agency to protect the flow of history. The project, codename Journeyman.
Good morning. Once again, it's another beautiful day here in the peaceful, skyborne metropolis of Caldoria. And unless you've been trapped in some kind of time warp, you know that today marks the culmination of 10 years of debate, as all of Earth awaits the arrival of the
Energy
alien
level
delegate from the
15%.
symbiotry of peaceful beings. Their goal? To welcome the entire human race into their interplanetary alliance of sentient beings. Our Megan Love is at the Capitol building right now with a live update. Megan, can you hear me?
I'm right here, thanks, Johnny. 10 years ago today, Earth was visited by a race of aliens who called themselves the Solins. They told us that they were here to invite us into an alliance, which they called the symbiotry of peaceful beings. The purpose of this alliance, they said, is simply to share knowledge and culture with other alien races. They then left after saying they would give us exactly 10 years to deliberate their proposal. Today is the day of their return. All along the streets of Caldoria and here in the Capitol building, it's amazing, Johnny. There are thousands of people gathered, hoping to catch a glimpse of the Sorolin delegate as the procession heads this way. We've heard various rumors that a fleet of ships have already been detected on long-range radar and should soon be arriving. And with each new rumor, the excitement here seems to grow tenfold. Back to you at the studio, Johnny.
Thank you, Megan Love. This morning's broadcast was brought to you by Future Cola, the choice of a peaceful generation. I'm Johnny Ego, and you're listening to the mellow sounds of WKIM Too Big.
Yeah, kind of a long intro, I know, but, it's necessary for getting a feel for things. And that's one of the things that I was talking about. The sound effects are not supposed to play during that opening. I don't know why they do. I know they kind of drown out the voices a little bit, but hopefully it's not too big of a deal. And if you were confused, that whole part with the white background and everything, that was the dream that you were having. And of course the explosion in the dream is what woke you up, along with the alarm clock too. So we are Agent 5 of the Temple Security Annex, and it's our job to safeguard history. And that's our name, Agent 5. We don't actually get a real name until the second game, where we're called Gage Blackwood. And for whatever reason, in the second one, they changed it to the Temple Security Agency rather than Annex. I guess maybe they thought it was more natural to say it that way. Either way, it's still the TSA, so it doesn't really matter. So the Sorolins, they are an alien race. They've come to Earth to invite us into the symbiotry of peaceful beings, since Earth is finally now at peace. And they've given us 10 years to think about it, and today is the day that they are coming back to give us a formal invitation. So I'm going to give just a real quick overview of the interface. It's pretty simple. You've got this window here, it just gives us messages. You have your energy. This is for when we go to the different time zones. It's pretty much like your time limit. You can't let it drop to 0 or you lose. You have your navigation, what direction you're facing, not too big of a deal. You got the date to know when you are. And you got the warning light, which pretty much is just for when the energy starts to get low. It'll blink and tell us. You got your items over here. You can actually click this. Start off with the biochip, the interface, which is pretty much just lets us save and load. Any of the biochips, this window here is what they'll display, what they can essentially do. You have this button here. This is the recall button. This is to jump back to the present once we've actually traveled somewhere. You got this here. This is for all the biochips. I find this kind of useless because you can just use the items here, and I never liked having to click and open this and close it again. So we're not going to really use that, but there is an interesting point about this that I'll talk about much later in the game. And of course we have our navigation buttons here. You can either click these to move around, or you can use the arrow keys, whatever you're comfortable with. I always found that the keyboard was a little easier to use. But that's it for the interface. And actually, you can also, I almost forgot, you can click this little button here. This is, gives you some info on the items you have, when you found it, where, description, and all that good stuff. Okay, so now we are ready to actually start, and we're gonna explore our apartment here. We got our bed here, which is unmade, and we're just gonna leave it like that because we don't care. This message window pops up, telling us to report to work, like we don't already know. You can actually grab this, which is our transport card. We're gonna need this for the global transport downstairs to get to the TSA. You can also turn this on, although there's no point, except for making the music turn on and off. Just a little bit of interactivity, I guess. That leads out to the living room, but we're going to go through here instead. To the bathroom, and you click on the door and it magically disappears. Now, one thing you'll notice about this bathroom is that we have a sink and a toilet. There is no shower, which means one of two things. Either Agent 5 doesn't shower, or he showers in the toilet. I don't really care for either of those options. But anyways, you come over here, and this is pretty much the only way you get to see yourself. Kind of makes sense, we're in first person, but it's through reflections, and this is the best view we'll ever get. You can see our little eyepiece on us, and you actually click. The guy gives a little smirk there. Although if you turn away and come back, it goes away. You can also wash our hands. It should drip. Oh, guess not. Thought you hear a drip sound. Well, we can just turn it on again. Wasting water. Increase our water bill, I guess. And it magically turns off on its own. There's nothing else to do in the bathroom. So we'll head out to the living room now. And my first time playing through this, I totally skipped this. I guess I didn't notice. Those chairs over there, you can actually sit down in them. At least on the left side of them. Automatically sits you down. And again, this is one of those things that's not necessary to do. It's just, you know, for fun. Kind of immerse yourself in the game. This is the high-res 4D Environ system. It's kind of like a 3D system, except there's in 4D. And you can use this for, it's kind of like for relaxing. You can turn on a nice little mountain scene. This would actually be really cool to have in a house. Check out the seascape. Have a nice beer. Relax on the beach. And the cosmos. I think if I were to have this in my house, I think this is the one that I would go with. Kind of, just because as a kid I was really obsessed with science, chemistry, and like planetarium stuff. I loved planets. I loved Saturn and like its colored rings. So I always wanted this kind of thing for like my room, having stars everywhere. You got some blank slots as well, kind of like for, you know, expansion. You can put in more. This is all that they have for this game. Let's turn it back to the mountain, because then you can actually switch to the audio. Then you can turn on some R&B funk. You can kind of like mix and match, pick a visual, then pick an audio. And these music tracks, this is the only part in the game where you actually get to hear these. The only other time you'll hear these is included on the disc, or at least with the trilogy set that I have, is pretty much like the making of for this game. They call it The Journey. And for a lot of the background music tracks, these are the ones that they use. Since they got very little, like, you know, usage in the actual games. Kind of a shame. They make these tracks and this is the only part you get to hear them. And you might just totally bypass them like I did the first time. But this is nice for relaxing. Turn on the acoustic. I'm not going to obviously play the whole track. Just giving you a taste of it. And the last one is Gear Rhythm. Which I don't really care for this. This one, I never liked this one. I didn't really... It's just like a bunch of noise. You can also click the little hide button here, hides the little menu, so you can just see this. And there's nothing else to do with this except for get up. That's the only way to get out of that too, you have to stand up. But that's all we can do in our apartment, so let's go ahead and head outside. This message window pops up again, telling us again to get to work. Should go away. Go away! There, now it went away. Okay, we are on the 4th floor of our apartment complex, and we can actually check out some of the other rooms.
I'm on vacation. I won't be back for
2 weeks, 5 days, 6 hours.
Thank you.
I am a robot. I just think that sounds funny. We can't actually go in any of the buildings, but we can listen to some of the messages that people have left behind.
Come in. Psych. Gotcha. It's just a recording. Anyway, I checked out this morning, Caldori time about 6 o'clock, went for a White Sands jog in Tahiti. Be back in a while.
He thinks he's real funny. He's like one of those guys that leaves those fake messages on their answering machine, acting like they're picking up like, hello, I can't hear you, hold on a sec, and then it's like, nah, this is really just a recording. It's like, damn it. And the last room over here. And if you actually listen, this is the only part where you can hear the apartment music. It doesn't play the whole time. It's only in certain spots too. It's kind of weird.
I'm not home right now. Susie, if this is you, meet me down by the Capitol building. I got an absolutely torrid spot to watch the procession.
And of course it makes sense that a lot of people wouldn't be home. They're out checking out the procession. You know, everyone wants to see the aliens arriving. And actually, this guy's voice, it sounds to me like Greg Euler, the programmer for the game. I'm going by what you can hear him in, again, the making of video, The Journey. And it would make sense to me, because if you're going to record only just a couple of lines, why would you hire someone else to do it when you can just do it yourself? So I think that all the voices here are from different people from the staff for Presto Studios. At least that would make sense to me. That's all we can do on the 4th floor here. So we can go ahead and call for the elevator.
Second floor. Third floor. Fourth floor.
And stop.
Roof access.
Hey, come on now. Aren't elevators supposed to stop on your floor when you call for it like that? It's kind of messed up, making me wait like this.
Fourth floor.
Yeah, thank you. It's about time! Alright, we'll just hop on here, and you can actually try to check out some of the other floors. You can go to the roof, but there's nothing to do there, so I'm not going to bother. And what's funny is, if you actually try to go to the 2nd or the 3rd floor...
Access denied. This floor was never modeled or rendered.
I like this. The game designers, they were having fun with this. It's like, well, you're on the 4th floor, and we gotta have all the other floors, but they didn't want to actually take the time to render them. So we'll just pretty much poke fun at the fact that they're not gonna bother to do that. It's the same thing if you click on the 3rd floor. They actually do that again, at least once in the 2nd game. There's a part where they pretty much say, yeah, well, we'd like to let you go back over there, but we didn't actually render anything for that, so you can't. I think that's actually kind of funny that they do that. This button here, this would just open the door back up again on whatever floor we're currently on. So we'll just head down to the 1st floor now.
First floor.
Bing! Alright, let's get off this thing already. And there's some more rooms we can check out on the 1st floor here, although they're really not much.
This unit is vacant. For more information, please refer to the Caldoria kiosk in the lobby.
Since nobody's in these. Nobody's in these? Are these? Anyways. This one all it has is a dog barking. I guess someone, the owner, that dog accidentally, like, pressed the record button and recorded the dog barking. And the last one over here, it's also empty. It's the same automated message, so I'm not going to bother. And we turn here, and the message pops up again. These are all predetermined. This is just another one of the spots where when you turn this way and you're facing here, the message window is going to come up. You can't stop that. And we can actually come out over here, get another view of the alien ship, and again, you can see our reflection here. You can get a slightly different view over here. Not too different, but it's there. And last over here. Reflection is a little hard to see in this shot, though. But okay, enough of staring at the window. Like that message on the door said, we can actually check out the kiosk and get some info on the apartments here, so we can watch this little demo video, essentially.
Welcome to Caldoria Heights Apartments, the best view of Caldoria. While here, please feel free to visit our rooftop observatory. Located directly across from the Capitol building in Sector 3, Caldoria Heights plays host to a number of luxurious accommodations. Our 15 units offer ample living space and the very best views of the city. Aluminized steel plumbing and titanium bathroom fixtures are standard. And topping off this list of distinctive features is a high-res 4D Environ system built into each and every living room. Designed for metro properties by Marco Giappitti, Caldoria Heights offers comfortable accommodations in an attractive environment.
And you actually have a vid phone number here. Unfortunately, there is no vid phone in the game. I thought that would be really cool if they had done something like that. Put in a vid phone and actually be able to call this number. It would have been like another opportunity to put in a joke. You know, some older adventure games did stuff like that. But they didn't here, so we can't do anything about that. And finally, this is the global transporter. This is what we're going to use to get to the TSA. But I'm actually going to stop this one here. So in the next video, we will head on over to the TSA. So I'll see you then.